Do you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile? In today's video, I'm going to share some tips and we're going to look at the most common mistakes people make on their LinkedIn profiles. And we're going to do that looking at a real life example of a LinkedIn profile so that we all can learn together. Welcome to my channel. I'm Anna. I'm a career coach, and in my videos, we talk about how to get you hired for that fantastic job you want and of course deserve. So let's start looking at an example of a real life LinkedIn profile and see how you can learn and improve from that. So here's a profile of Sergey. Let's look at the very first thing at the top. He has a decent profile photo. You can see his face, so that's a good thing. But he's not using any banner images in the background. If you want your profile to stand out a little bit more and make more of a visual impact, generally it's a good idea to have a standout background image at the top of your profile. Unfortunately, it's not clickable. You cannot put any links in there, but it still does improve the visual appearance of your profile and at least makes it a little bit more memorable. Next to Sergey's name, he does not have any audio pronunciation. If you happen to have a name that's a little bit complicated in terms of, not everybody knows how to read that properly, it's a good idea to use that feature. LinkedIn has that on the mobile version. I don't think they have it on the desktop yet, but at least you can do that on your app for sure. You have about 10 seconds to record a quick audio message, so it's a good idea to welcome people to your profile as well as let them know how to pronounce your name correctly. So let's look at the profile headline. All that Sergey has in here, as you can see, is his job title and the company name. And in this case, yes, the job title does happen to have a decent combination of keywords that recruiters could be looking for. But if you want to appear in more search results on LinkedIn, you do want to have more relevant keywords right there in your headline. When recruiters are looking for a professional like yourself, with your experience, with your skill set on LinkedIn, they are going to type some keywords to be able to find somebody like you. So you want to make sure that those are the keywords that you're using right here in your headline, because it has the strongest impact on your searchability and visibility on LinkedIn. Generally, you have 220 characters available in your profile headline, so use them wisely. Okay, if we keep scrolling down, let's check out Sergey's activity, because that's one of the most important sections of your profile as well. Not many people know that your entire network, as well as other people who can access your profile, they are able to track all of your activity on LinkedIn, meaning all your likes, comments, things that you publicly engage with on LinkedIn. And that's, by the way, a great way to find some common ground with the person if you want to message them, but you don't know how to approach them. This is the section you're going to look at. So in Sergey's case, he likes or reacts to a lot of posts, but I don't see any comments. If you want to increase your visibility on LinkedIn and kind of step up your networking game, commenting on relevant content is the #1 way to do that. It's a great way to show your expertise. It's a great way to create some foundation for people to reach out to you with. So generally, if you have some time to do that, it's a lot better than lurking in the background. At least you're putting yourself out there and attracting more views to your LinkedIn profile, which is what you want if you are actively job searching. Sergey does not have a lot of posting activity either. Not suggesting that's a great way for everybody. You don't have to post on LinkedIn. But again, if you're someone who wants to increase your visibility consistently to attract people to your LinkedIn profile, instead of having to seek them out yourself, creating posts or sharing content of your own is a great way to do that. Okay, let's go back to his profile. Okay, looking at the About section. So the good thing is, because Sergey has a very technical profession, he's a data engineer. So in his case, listing all of his software knowledge and all the different technologies that he has experience with is the perfect idea for his About section. Generally, in your About section, you want to give a summary of who you are for somebody who's scrolling very quickly and wants to get the gist of what your profile is about. And if you're someone in a technical profession, maybe you're also in data analytics, or perhaps you're a developer, or all the other technical professions, if you are using a technical stack of tools, please list them in your About section. That does increase your searchability for sure. If we look at the rest of the content in his About section, he talks about the things that he loves doing and the stuff that makes him passionate about the work that he does. So that way, we can see a bit of a personal touch on his LinkedIn profile rather than simply a copy-pasted summary from your resume. Your resume and your LinkedIn profile are not the same thing. So generally, your LinkedIn profile gives you a lot more room for creativity and for showing your personality. So try to write your summary with the first person. So I love, I do, I have done this type of stuff. Other than that, we're getting a pretty good idea of Sergey's experience, and we're looking at the stuff that he specializes in. So he talks about working with marketing, financial, and logistics data, which gives us a more specified area versus just a very general, broad expertise. So again, if you're someone who has a more niche area within a bigger industry or a bigger profession, that's a great way to show that to recruiters right off the bat in the very beginning of your About section. Let's move on to his experience. So with his current role of data engineer, he's not listing a lot of accomplishments, or really there is no description of his current role. So that's free space for, again, increasing your searchability on LinkedIn. So please make sure that you're maximizing all the space that you have. You don't need to use all of the 2,000 or more characters, but at least a quick summary of your key accomplishments, key areas that you're specializing in, or the value that you have already added in your current position is the most important thing, because all the eyes are going to be on your most recent experience, on your latest job. So if that's the one where you don't have any content, you're definitely missing out. If we're looking at his previous jobs, in all of them, we're looking at a list of job tasks. So he talks about collecting requirements, developing reporting, modeling, building data sets, and stuff like that. All of that is a good thing, but this is not the thing that gets recruiters and employers interested. Most of us, we think about our resumes as well as our LinkedIn profiles as just a list of tasks or jobs that we've done in the past. Whereas employers, in fact, are not interested in the tasks that you did. There could be hundreds, if not thousands, of other people who did the exact same tasks. Employers are interested in results and outcomes. So one way for Sergey to maximize his profile and his brand on LinkedIn would be to list specific outcomes that are driven by value versus just tasks that he's performed in the past. And that is true, as you can see, for all of his previous roles. So if we expand on all of them, one of the good things here is that he is listing, again, the technical stack. So we can clearly see the tools and applications that he used to accomplish certain things. If you're someone in a technical profession, that's a great idea. But it's not about just using technology. It's about leveraging technology to accomplish a specific outcome. And the outcome is what employers are truly interested in. Okay, moving on to education. Well, here it's pretty straightforward. You're simply listing all of the universities or institutions you've attended. You're completing all the information in terms of the type of degree that you've completed. One thing that I see quite often on profiles is that people are putting the date of their graduation. If your degree is pretty recent and you want to showcase that it is recent, so you want to show that that's continuing education that you're pursuing, it's a great idea to show the dates. However, if you're someone who is more concerned about age discrimination and you don't want to reveal your age just based on the year you graduated from university, you totally can eliminate that from your profile. That way, at least people won't be able to tell your age just by looking at your education section. Okay, then Sergey has some volunteering experience listed on here. It's not the most up-to-date. Again, the latest that he has is in 2018. Not sure if he's done anything since then, but if you do have more recent volunteering experience, it's a great idea to showcase that on your LinkedIn profile. And the same principle applies here as well. You can talk about not only the task that you've performed, for example, fundraising or coordinating other volunteers, but the actual outcomes that you helped generate. So actual results that led to, because that also creates a more complete picture of who you are and the value that you can add with your skill set, regardless of whether it's a paid gig or you're just volunteering with other people. Okay, skill section. In here, Sergey does not have enough skills at all. So he only has a few. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you have about 40 skills to list on your LinkedIn profile. Not suggesting that you absolutely have to use all of them, but if you could use more and showcase more of your skills, that would definitely work to your advantage. And what not many people know is that the more endorsements you have on your skills, that can also affect how searchable your profile is. There is no direct correlation, as in if you have 1,000 people endorsing you for a skill, you're going to be found by all the recruiters in your area, but it still does affect your search performance compared to a profile that is just as complete as yours. So one thing that I would recommend here is definitely expanding the skill set. Another super underrated section, recommendations on your profile. And the last recommendation that Sergey received was back in 2015. So recommendations is it's the greatest section for social proof. I mean, remember how last time when you wanted to order something online, the first thing you did is read a review of a customer who already bought that, and that's what helped you understand whether this is the right product for you to buy. The exact same thing happens here. An employer or a recruiter wants to see how other people react to working with you. And what better way is there to show that if not by reading actual testimonials of colleagues, managers, direct reports, clients, people who worked with you in different teams but still interacted with you on a frequent basis. They are the best witnesses of your successes, of your strength, and of the type of collaborator you are. So please make sure that you're making the most out of this section and don't hesitate to ask people you know to recommend you on LinkedIn. It's a great way to boost your LinkedIn profile performance. You can also give recommendations to other people, by the way, which Sergey did recently, and that's a great thing. So if you want people to give recommendations to you and you want to receive recommendations from other people, well, you're kind of expected to also be able to give recommendations to others, and that's also a good thing. You can also list some languages and other accomplishments on here, and you can see that there are some interests. Again, with your interest section, you might want to include some groups or some pages that you're genuinely interested in and you're following. Again, because it's great additional information that tells people about the types of things that they can reach out to you with. Because if you're struggling to find reasons to reach out to other people or how to approach them on LinkedIn, odds are other people are struggling with that as well. So by being active on LinkedIn and by showing some things in your interest section, you're giving them some hints of the stuff that you could talk about so that your networking becomes a lot easier. Other than that, I would say that the general recommendation is trying to complete your profile to the best of your ability, because there are multiple sections that LinkedIn gives you to play around with. And if you're leaving them without any content, you're missing out on an opportunity to put yourself out there and to show more information that unfortunately cannot be found in your resume. That's the beauty of your LinkedIn profile. It can show a lot more sides to who you are, not only as a professional, but also just as a human being. If you found this video helpful and you're going to take away some recommendations to optimize your own LinkedIn profile, don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, in the description below, I'm going to drop a link where you can schedule a free coaching call with me and see if you want to work on optimizing your LinkedIn profile together.